Today I'm going to be reviewing a Bible from Crossway. This is the ESV Prayer Bible, and it says Prayers from the Past, Hope for Our Present. And I have the Trutone brown cover, which I don't believe is available. I actually got this one used on eBay. I think there is a hardcover option, though, that is still available on christianbook.com, Crossway's website, probably Amazon as well. So this Bible is going to be single column text. There are 400 plus historical prayers linked to specific passages of Scripture. They're written by early church fathers, Puritans, and Protestant reformers. There's an introductory essay by Professor Donald S. Whitney, author of Praying the Bible, explaining how and why to pray the Bible. There's also going to be prayer-focused book introductions that provide insight into how each book of the Bible informs our prayers, an author index featuring short bios and relevant page numbers for each historical contributor, and then comprehensive index featuring every instance of prayer and reference to prayer in the entire Bible. So if you're looking to do a study on prayer or just have a focus on prayer, devotional time that's devoted to prayer, this is a really good one to pick up. Slide this out here. It's a nice size Bible. It's not too big, even being a single column Bible. Again, this is the brown Trutone, or like the imitation leather cover. There's perimeter stitching. We have one brown ribbon. We're going to have gold page gilding. And then on the spine here, we're going to have ESV Prayer Bible, English Standard Version, and then Crossway. This Bible came out a couple years ago. I forget what year exactly. Can look on the copyright page in here to get that exact. But it's been out for a little while. And christianbook.com had some really good deals on this. I'm not sure if they still do, but I know that for a while there they were pretty cheap. So we're going to have a presentation page. Okay, we have our table of contents. This looks like it says it is 2018. Looks like that's when this came out. Then we're going to get a little table of contents index for the resources that are available in this Bible. And then we're going to get an introduction to the ESV Prayer Bible. We're going to get a user's guide. Kind of gives you the features and how to use them. A preface to the ESV. We're going to get an explanation of ESV features like section headings, their cross-reference system, and textual footnotes. Okay, and then we skipped a page that says Old Testament, but yes, we're getting into the Old Testament now. So you can see this is a nice, readable, single-column format. I want to say it's a 9-point font. Chapter numbers are nice and bold. And then for each book, you're going to get a little introduction, which I'll just read the introduction for Genesis, because I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see it on the camera here, but just to give you an idea of what the introductions are like. It says, Genesis sets the stage for the entire Bible and for all of human history. As we read Genesis, we are brought to pray to the one who created and sustains all things, one endless in might and unrivaled in glory. We also pray knowing that we are those who, unlike any other creatures, are made in God's own image, and the fall of mankind, I just skipped a line there, made in God's own image, and thus are created for fellowship with him. Genesis also recounts the fall of mankind into sin and ruin, but as we consider the story told in Genesis, we are reassured that we are praying to the one who has entered into covenant relationship with his people and will honor the promises made to them, not only to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, but also to believers today who are the heirs of the promises to the patriarchs. So those introductions for each book is just a little paragraph and just kind of like focusing on the prayer and themes of that book. So the main feature of this Bible, besides it being a nice, easy-to-read, single-column ESV Bible, is that there's going to be prayers right in the Scripture. So, for example, this one goes with Genesis 25, 7 to 11, and it's from Augustine. And it says, O you who are full of compassion, I commit and commend myself unto you, and whom I am and live and know. Be the goal of my pilgrimage and my rest by the way. Let my soul take refuge from the crowding turmoil of worldly thoughts beneath the shadow of your wings. Let my heart, this sea of restless waves, find peace in you, O God. So these, again, are written by early church fathers. They're really beautiful prayers. Really goes well as you're reading the scripture. They're right in there, mixed in with the scripture. I mean, you can see because the font's a little different when you get to the prayers, and it's slightly smaller than the scripture, so you can definitely tell when there's a prayer, but it's right in there with the scripture, so it doesn't really break up your reading too much. You can read it right along with the scripture that you're reading. Like there's an example of a prayer again down here, and it also lists who wrote the prayer right at the end of it. So this is a great Bible to carry along with you because it's very portable. It's a great reader's Bible because it's a nice single column layout. There is a little ghosting in this one, a little more than like the single column Heritage or, you know, some of the more expensive ESV Bibles, but it does appear. Actually, I'm trying to see if it's line matched. I think it might be line matched. It's hard to tell. It might be slightly off. But like I said, there's a little bit of ghosting, but it's not bad enough that you can't read the Bible. So it's not a horrible, like, deal breaker for this one. Be a great Bible for devotional time with those prayers throughout here. But this one by Christina Rossetti, John Calvin. So if you like the ESV, you want a nice portable ESV Bible, you like single column, and you would like to incorporate a study on prayer or some prayer into your devotional time, this would definitely be a great choice. And like I said, it's not a real expensive Bible either. You can pick it up. I think I found this one on eBay for like $25. So it's a pretty good deal. And the hardcover, I think, is available pretty cheap a lot of different places too. So we're in the Old Testament. We're in the New Testament here. And you can see that it's a black letter text. I promise I know the difference between the Old and New Testament. Yes, we have a black letter text, so I like that, of course. Let's go ahead and skip to the end. Okay, let's talk about what we have here at the end of Revelation. Almost there. Skipped a little too far the first time. All right, here we go. So these are our resources after Revelation here. We have a table of weights and measures. And then we are, if I can ever get the page turned, going to have an author index. So you could see when we read the prayers that there was an author listed after each one. So this one's going to give you a little more information about each of these authors. It gives you a little headshot of them. It gives you the dates that they lived, a couple sentences about, what they're known for, and then it lists out the scriptures where their prayers are listed. And I said church fathers, but there are some women in here too. Like there's Jane Austen. There was one earlier, I think it was Christina Rossetti that I mentioned. Lady Jane Grey has some prayers in there. So it is mostly men, but there's definitely some women thrown in there as well. Then we're going to have a prayer index. Looks like it lists the scripture of the prayer, the author, and where it came from. Like if they wrote a book or an essay of some sort, like it gives the name of that so you know where it originated from. anything else? I think there's another, yeah, there's another index. There's a comprehensive scripture index. It says this index lists the prayers and references to prayer in every book of the Bible, allowing the reader to glimpse the way in which prayer features in each book. So that's all listed out there for you. And then we're going to have a concordance. Gives you the Old Testament, New Testament abbreviations, and then we get into the typical concordance that you would see in a lot of Bibles. At the end of that, there is going to be a year in the Bible reading plan, which gives you an Old Testament, New Testament, and Psalm reading for each day. And then we get a couple pages of cardstock, and then we're at the end of the Bible. So the ESV Prayer Bible, a great Bible to get on a budget. It's out there for pretty cheap. It's a nice size Bible. It's ESV. It's single column. And then you have those prayers from early people in the church to guide you as you're reading or to be part of your devotional time in this Bible. So if you are looking to focus on prayer, I would highly recommend picking up a copy of the ESV Prayer Bible. And again, this one is from Crossway.